Hey, how are you? It's Mike, Stewart.ca, and welcome to episode 9 of the First Time Home Buyer's Guide for Vancouver. Now, in episode 8, we talked about the purchase price. Today, we're talking about deposits, and deposits that a buyer puts down when they buy a property here in Vancouver. Now, there are a lot of misconceptions out there when it comes to deposits when people are buying property here in Vancouver. People are not really clear on how much they are usually, when they're paid, how they're paid, where they're held, and whether or not they can be lost by a buyer. So let me break it down for you on a point-by-point basis. So now, when is a deposit paid? Typically, a deposit is paid not when a buyer gets an accepted offer. So buyer submits an offer, buyer and seller go back and forth negotiating, seller and buyer come to agreement, and we have an accepted offer. There is not a deposit paid now. 90% of the time, the deposit will be paid 7 to 10 days after the buyer has an accepted offer, okay? And the buyer will pay their deposit only if they're 110% happy with the property and they want to move forward, okay? So you get an accepted offer and the buyer does their due diligence, okay? If they're happy, they put in their deposit, they move forward. If they're not happy, they don't put in a deposit, they don't move forward, they kill the deal, no penalties, okay? So, now how much is the deposit? Typically in Vancouver, a deposit is 5% of the purchase price, okay? And that deposit is paid in the form of a certified check or a bank draft. So if you're going to buy a property, you want to make sure that you have liquid cash in your bank account that you can get access to within 6 to 7 days of getting an accepted offer, and you can get it in the form of a certified check or a bank draft. You can't use a personal check when you're buying a property here in Vancouver for a deposit. Okay, now the second question that I find first-time buyers have when it comes to buying property here in Vancouver is where is the money held? Now, the money for a deposit when you're buying property here in Vancouver is held in a trust account. Now, the trust account is a special account that the buyer's agent's office will have, and the deposit goes to the buyer's agent's office, okay? And the buyer's agent's office will have the trust account. Now, if the buyer's agent's office goes bankrupt, gets shut down, ceases to exist in any way, the money in the trust account cannot be part of a bankruptcy, cannot disappear. It cannot come out of the trust account. There's only 3 ways the money can come out of the trust account. 1 is if the deal goes through, the buyer's money goes to the seller. 2, if the seller is not able to convey ownership of the property, so the property burns down, or if it's destroyed in any other way and the seller cannot give ownership to the buyer because there's nothing there, then the buyer can get their deposit back. Or 3, if buyer and seller have a dispute that goes to court about the transaction, the deposit can be paid into court. But the deposit money cannot be used for the real estate company's owner's retirement. It cannot be used for a bankruptcy. It cannot come out of the trust account. And this is all provincially regulated. If you want more information about trust accounts, there is a link down below. Now, the last question that a lot of buyers have when they put in a deposit when they're buying real estate here in Vancouver is, can they lose their deposit? If a buyer gets an accepted offer, removes their subject, submits, and then puts in their deposit, and they don't go forward with the deal upon completion, i.e. they don't give all of their money when they're supposed to and to take ownership when they're supposed to, they may lose their deposit. But you need to confirm that with a lawyer because it's a bit of a gray area, and what I've been told is that we can't say for sure that the buyer will lose the deposit. So if you are concerned about this, talk to a lawyer. Those are the people to talk to. So if you have any questions, comments, or thoughts on deposits here in Vancouver for buying real estate, give me a call, 604-763-3136, or email me at mike@mikestewart.ca. Thank you very much for watching, and I love questions and comments. Thank you.